You know who deserves some love in 2020? Your wood cutting boards. Now, over the years, I've done a lot of things on the kitchen, and I pride myself in trying to find out more efficient or better ways to do things and keeping my equipment in top shape as possible. But there's one thing that I have neglected for years, and that is the backbone of my cooking, wood cutting boards. Literally before this video, I have never seasoned a wood cutting board, but that is all changing today. Wood is the best all-around material for a cutting board. They're forgiving to your knife edge, meaning the knives stay sharper for longer. Bacteria actually has a lower survival rate on wood than plastic, aka wood cutting boards are more sanitary than plastic, all according to a University of Wisconsin study. I'll link that below. And lastly, they just look good. This one I just seasoned for this video, and it literally feels like a brand new cutting board. You guys will see this transformation. This thing was all like dried out and white in here, and now it's like this gorgeous piece of wood again. So wood cutting boards, they have the looks, they have the functionality, but how do we actually care for these guys? Since wood is porous, without a finish, the cutting board will absorb food juices, colors, and aromas. For example, this cutting board had a stain on it from cutting beets, and it was there for a couple weeks until it washed out from, using it a bunch of times. But other than that, I really couldn't get it out. But now, since this is seasoned, that should not be an issue anymore. To season or finish a board, it's as simple as slathering a food-safe mineral oil or wood cleaner all over the board and just letting it air dry. However, if you're like me and you have literally never touched up your wood cutting boards, there's an extra couple steps that you're gonna wanna go through. I grabbed some sandpaper from the hardware store, 180 grit to wear away the wood faster for deeper cuts, and 320 grit for a smoother finish. Now you're just gonna grab a box of cards, or any box really, and cut a piece of the sandpaper to size. Just wrap it around the box and we can go to work. We want to work with the grain of the cutting board to wear away the material. Intermittently just wipe off the wood dust with your hand or a brush. After a couple minutes on the 180 grit, I switch over to my higher grit sandpaper to smooth it out. With the cutting board smooth out, just take a damp sponge and wipe it across the board until all the wood dust is gone. Now you're gonna let this air dry for a solid hour or more, depends on how wet you got it with your sponge. With the cutting board air dried, now we can apply our oil. You're gonna get a bottle of mineral oil or beeswax, just make sure that it's food safe. This board cleaner was $4 at TJ Maxx, and it's a mix of mineral oil and beeswax. Generously apply the oil all over the board. You really can't add too much. The board will suck it all up, especially if they are completely dry and haven't been touched like mine. Now you're just gonna let the boards dry for several hours or overnight before cutting on them. For extra seasoning, you can repeat this process multiple times if you still notice some dry spots on the board. After completing the process, it'll feel like you have completely new cutting boards. So let me know down in the comments if you already regularly season your cutting board, or if you were like me and you're gonna start doing it from now on. But that's gonna wrap it up for me. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.